The importance of framing an offer, especially if it's a low ball offer, whether you're the buyer submitting the offer or you're a seller that has received an offer that you are now countering. It never ceases to amaze me that whenever I receive an offer from a buyer's agent as I'm representing the seller, that there's simply no context behind the offer. It's just simply submitted in an email as an attachment or through some type of electronic DocuSign platform. And though these are all acceptable means to send an offer, there is no context behind it. The offer is not framed. And so today we're going to be talking about framing an offer, whether you're a buyer submitting a lower offer and how do we frame that to win the offer, or you're a seller who now has to counter a lower offer so that you are winning the price that you want for your home. So there are several steps that we take in place with that, and it all really begins before the showing even happens. So when we have a buyer's agent who's scheduling a showing for their buyers, well, it's all done through automation. We as your agent and you as a seller will receive a notification of the requested showing date and time. Once we've confirmed that time, then that's my prompt to essentially reach out to that buyer's agent. And it gives me an opportunity to do several things. First, I want to thank them for the opportunity to choose our home as the property that they're going to show for that afternoon with their buyer clients. It also gives me an opportunity to share with them any intricacies of your home. It allows me to share with them the details of the neighborhood, the location of maybe an amenity center, swimming pool, all those extra details, so that ultimately, as the buyer's agent is showing the home and showing the community to their buyer, that they can feel comfortable and confident throughout their showing as though they've been in that neighborhood or in your home dozens of times. Now, the next part of that equation is as I'm sharing that information, it gives me then the opportunity to discover a little bit more about who the buyer is that's showing the property. And what I mean by that is it allows me to ask the agent questions like, are your buyers here just in an exploratory trip? Are they just visiting, trying to get an understanding of the area and the types of communities and homes that are available to them? Or have they maybe just sold their home somewhere up north and they are now on a purchasing trip that they absolutely have to buy? What is their situation for buying? Do they have friends or family, maybe within your neighborhood? We're trying to uncover certain key elements that will only help us through the ultimate negotiations of the sale of your property should an offer come our way. It also lets that agent know that we are readily available to them to have a conversation, to communicate with them, to find the best possible outcome for all parties. So then once we now receive that offer, we have the information that we can use. So if that offer is sent to us, and again, it's not framed or there is no context behind it, I can then curate an email to that agent that they too can forward to their buyer clients, that shares with them and reminds them of maybe any details of your property, the features and benefits of your home, of the neighborhood, how we arrived at our asking price. We also don't want to take for granted that maybe that buyer's agent never really shared with their buyers the state of the market. How are things working out in our market here? So many times we have buyers who are moving from other parts of the country, and their market experience may be completely different than what's actually happening here in our local market throughout the Myrtle Beach area. Oftentimes they are similar, but they could be different experiences. So we want to share with them the direction of the market. So we will curate this all in a way that, again, allows the agent to also share that with the buyer to help the buyer come to their own conclusion of a fair market value for that home. And we just had this happen recently with a seller client of mine, where ultimately we received an offer for 10% less than our asking price. And ultimately, we were able to negotiate 98.5% list to sales price. So we only gave up 1.5% of our asking price. And this was all designed from the beginning. We knew that in this market, we would have to show some flexibility. And through the spirit of negotiations, we would want the buyer to feel like they got a little something. So now, if you are a buyer, well, we need to do the same thing, but simply now in reverse. Before we show the property, I'm going to contact that agent and I want to see. Obviously, we know how long the property has been on the market, but we want to understand, hey, where are they moving to next? Are they staying local or maybe leaving the area? And it's amazing how many times those agents will then open up to us and let us into some of the details of their sellers and their situation. I want to know, have they received any offers previously that maybe they've turned down? Again, I'm trying to get as much information out of them about the property, about the community, and about the sellers that we can obtain. So in the event that we send an offer to that seller, well, again, we are already armed with some negotiating leverage on our side. And then through that, as we send that offer, we're not just sending it as an attachment. We're just not forwarding it through an electronic platform. We're actually curating an email with our offer, sharing to both the listing agent and the seller exactly how we have derived at our offering price, the direction of the market, the things that we're seeing that we feel make our offer a good offer. And so again, we were recently able to help some buyer clients do just that, where we were able to negotiate just over 5% off of the asking price based on this scenario, where we didn't even receive a counter offer back from the seller. They accepted our offer as it stood from the beginning. So in this market now, who you work with matters. Having an agent who is experienced and is going to go above and beyond just simply submitting an offer or just simply presenting an offer to you for you to decide. We want to be armed with information so that we can successfully negotiate either the offer on the buyer side or for you as the seller. So whether you're looking to make a move here in the next 9 days or 90 days, of course, you know, it's simple. All of our contact information is listed here. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. We'll have your back. We'd love to have a chat with you about your needs, your goals. And well, until next time, I look forward to seeing you around the beach.